What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to another trade recap video. Today I made around $2,600 on 3 Futures Elite accounts. Here's the trade account summary right here. Boom, as you can see, $2,600, and this was on 3 accounts with the firm. I just got a payout with this firm, so I'm scaling into more accounts right now. So yeah, let's just go over the trade recap. I was literally out within 20 minutes of market open. Like, it was a really quick trading session for me today. So let's just go over exactly what trade I took and why I took it. So I have the 930 candle marked out already. This is on NQ, and every session, every day, we always have to mark out exactly what draws on liquidity we could potentially hit, right? So boom. This is on the daily chart. What do I have here? I have the previous day low, previous day high. 2 big draws on liquidity. Those are the initial draws I saw. Boom. Now we go into the 4-hour time frame. Got to see what other time frame or what other draws we have. For me, it was this Asia low. And then on the 1 hour, we've got to keep scaling down, scaling down. We have, what else did I mark out? London low, which was right here. This London low right here. So boom. All my draws are marked out. We have all these stacked lows resting below us, and then we have these previous day high, and then this 4-hour and 1 hour rejection block slash high, right? Because it's a wick inside of a fair value gap, so that's a rejection block. And I mean, I guess I can mark it out because I actually did take a trade off of the rejection block. It was the 4-hour one right here. As you can see, this candle right here tapped into this 4-hour fair value gap, so that leaves it as a higher time frame rejection block, which was one of the basis of this trade and reasons I took my trade. So boom. Why is my, let me just do that. Okay, that's not it. How do I change the middle line? Oh, there it is. Oh no, I lied. Middle line, dotted. All right, bet. So boom, we have all of our draws marked out. So coming into the day, I was honestly bearish just because we had these relative equal lows, these stacked low resistance liquidity lows, and then we had this rejection block above us. I would rather target the low resistance liquidity rather than a protected high, because this is a high within a fair value gap, right? So this is technically protected, so I would rather target the lows beneath us. So what happens is we go into market open. Boom, 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 boom. Where's market open? Right here. And we start pumping up, right? I know a lot of people, they took this trade up into this high right here, trying to target previous day high. I faded this honestly just because, like I said before, I wanted to target the low resistance liquidity rather than the high resistance protected high, right? I'd rather be bearish than bullish, so I was looking for shorts initially. And then once we started pumping up, that was honestly my trigger to think that, okay, maybe this is true. Maybe my bias is correct, because market tends to manipulate before distributing, right? So I faded this long right here. Even though we did tap into OTE and had displacement, I probably, if I would have taken this, I would have got break even. Boom, boom. I would probably got break even here because I would have targeted that previous day high. And then I would have got break even at this internal high. But I didn't take this trade. I was looking for shorts. So what happens is price rallies up. We tag this rejection block. This whole box is the entire rejection block. And then we start showing signs of rejection, right? How do we show signs of rejection? We inverse this 1 minute gap right here. Boom, boom, boom. And then while we have this 1 minute inversion, we have all these lows right here that were formed on the way up, structure being built. And that's pretty much exactly why I took this trade, because we started building structure. And if I were to be wrong, I'd be wrong, right? Whatever. I would look for shorts again after taking out previous day high if I were wrong here, but thankfully we weren't. So we took the short position right after inversing this 1 minute gap. Stop above that high. Okay, not that high, but this high right here. And then I went break even at the first internal low. So it would be this one right here. This is where I went break even. And then my target was the 930 low. This was my target right here. I love targeting 930 lows and highs just because more oftentimes than not, both sides of the 930 candle get hit. And as you can see here, we pump up, take out the high of the 930 candle, but we leave the low, right? So we leave this low. And knowing this, more oftentimes than not, we hit the 930 low, or then both sides of the 930 candle. So this was my final target. I could have held it all the way down to those low resistance uh, liquidity and those relative equal lows, but honestly, I risked pretty heavy on this trade, and it was a 2.5 R, right? So I risked around, I think, like $1,000 on this trade, and then I made 2.6K. So it was a pretty, I was sized in pretty heavy just because everything was aligning for me. I had my bias right, the structure was forming, and pretty much I just had high conviction on this trade. So I risked in with a little heavier, took profit at the 930 low because my theory or my thinking was what could potentially happen is we take out this 930 low, take out that previous day high, and then continue lower. So that's why I just cut everything at the 930 low, because that is a sign of, or not a sign, but a potential place to reverse off of, and I don't want to get caught in that. I'd rather take my profits and call it a day. So yeah, I mean, it was a pretty simple trade. I was out within, what time was it? 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock happened, and I was done trading. So I was done trading within 30 minutes of market open. Really, really quick trading day for really quick trading day. But yeah, so just to go over why I took this trade again, pretty much we had low resistance liquidity below us at market open. Oops, why are we all the way back here now? Oh, that's not good. All right, let's go on the 1 hour. Better on the 1 hour. Boom. So we had low resistance liquidity resting below us, all these lows that never got taken out. And then we had a 4-hour rejection block above us. This rejection block right here. 4-hour rejection block. And then we tap into the rejection block and start showing signs of reversals and signs of weakness. So create a 1-minute inversion with strong displacement. If this candle took like 4 minutes to close underneath it, I probably would have faded this trade. But since we flushed underneath it super fast, I entered this trade and was pretty confident in it because we had a 1 candle closure. And yeah, break even at the first internal low, and my take profit was the 930 candle low. So pretty simple trading day. Got hit TP within 30 minutes of market open. And yeah, so now I have 3 accounts sitting at 2.6K in profit right here, 2.6K in profit. I just got to flip 4 more winning days, and I'll be able to get a payout of around $4,000, something around there. But yeah, that's the trade recap for today. It was pretty simple, pretty easy, pretty much no drawdown at all. And yeah, appreciate y'all tuning in. Catch you on the next one.